Hi, this is JD and welcome to GetMoreTechIer.com. So today we're going to solve the problem in Excel when you want to basically create a lookup field with very strict values on what people can look up or populate. So if you want to limit for one cell in a row for a certain record in your Excel spreadsheet on what you want people to put in there, what you need, the best way to do that is through data validation. So what we want to do today is put in this C4 cell, what types of movies each of these actors are typically in. So for Arnold, Julia, Jennifer, Clint, Bruce, Ryan, and Rachel, we're going to select that type. And we're going to create a lookup where you click on the side and pick one of the choices, and those are the only choices you can pick. If you try to put in something else, it will not work. So I'm going to, over here in some area in my spreadsheet that I'm not using for anything else, and that's usually the way you do it, we put in different types of movies, or films if you prefer. Let's see, romantic, comedy, western, and, well, you know what, sorry, I'm messing things up. I just wanted one more, just, because I like the number 4. It's nice and balanced. So I have 4 types of movies. I have action, independent, romantic, comedy, and western. And over on the side, away from my main spreadsheet, I've created a little table, if you want to call it that, of these lookup values. So now, how do I implement this in a way that it only lets these values in these C4 through C10 for each of these actors? The way I do that is through, on the menu, I go to Data, Validation, and I should get a little dialog box like this. And what you want to pick is you want to pick List, because that's what we created in these E4 through E7 cells. So we're going to use a list. So what we're saying is when you're validating, use this list to look it up. And whenever you see this icon, it usually means you have to select some space, which is what we're going to do. And we're going to select that space as a range, press enter, and E4 through E7 are our static values that we're using to populate our lookup. Clicking OK. And look, now Arnold's got this fancy pull down. He's an action star. But wait, nobody else has it. So what we need to do is we need to copy it down. And because, I don't know if you remember, but that little pop-up form put $signs in front of the E437, so that means they'll say static for everybody. So we're going to pull it down. Oop. I copied the data too, but that's okay. We can redo the lookup for everybody. For Julia, we'll go romantic comedy. We'll say Jennifer's going to start taking some more risks in her career. She's going to start doing independent film. Clint, he's done a lot of different things, but he's a western. So look, Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, those movies, just my favorite. We'll keep Bruce in action. Ryan, we'll put you in independent just because you're a fun guy. And I think Rachel's done more romantic comedy than anything else. So that's how you do it. One thing you need to remember when you do this is if you decide to expand this list, you have to go back in and change your type lookups, the range that it uses for that. So you need to go to data validation and change. If you decided to add one more here in E8, you'd have to go back in and change your validation. So one thing I want to show you though before we sign off is look what happens when you try to add something that's not on the list. Let's say horror. Let's say Julia's doing horror movies here. Oh no! We get this. The value entered is not from the required list. Retry. So we get to retry. Whoops. Dependent. Julia too is going to take some risks in her career. She doesn't need the money anymore. So there you have it. We've created lookups. We've created data validation, and now you or other people can use your spreadsheet, and you can control what those values are in those lookups. Hope that helped you out. This is JD again from GetMoreTechIer.com. Thank you.